Good afternoon. So I decided to do this video to just give you a rundown of what running records are and how teachers determine reading levels. So I know I sent home reading levels on Friday and I finished up today with more reading levels. And so I know there were concerns when parents saw the actual levels, the letters, like the F's and the D's and the B's and the C's. Those are not letter grades. So that is some relief that you can have. That is actually the complexity level of the text. So I'm just going to give you a quick breakdown of what a running record is and how we determine your scholar's reading level throughout the school year. So first, I want to talk about how we use Fontes and Pinnell. Fontes and Pinnell is a reading system that we use to determine our reading levels. They are research-based, and we use them throughout the school year. I try to do running records 3 times a year for a whole class, and there are some cases where I have to do additional running records, but that's on a case-by-case basis. So this is how it typically works. We use informational text, and it's typically a cold read. A cold read is a book that a student has never seen before, and it's presented to them. I listen to them read. I record on a sheet as they're reading to me. So I'm looking for accuracy, how many mistakes they're making as they're reading. I'm looking for fluency, how fast or slow they're reading the text. I'm looking to see if they are using cues to self-correct. I'm looking for if they're using the visual clues in the book because there are pictures. So this is just an example. This is a level C book and it's shopping. And so this is what it would look like as they're reading. I'm marking off or not marking off depending if they are getting the words correct or not. And so this is a level C book. I just want to give you an idea of what it will look like and what's presented. And so typically it's a lower level book. So the words are, you see a lot of CVC words, a lot of kindergarten, early first grade sight words in this book. And so I would expect them to read this and I would just record their information. So as they finish the book, questions are asked for comprehension purposes. And so there are comprehension questions at the end of the story, and they are allowed to go back into the text and use the text to answer these questions. So for example, one of the questions, tell things that happened in this book, and I would dictate and write everything they could possibly tell me, and if they needed to go back into the text, that is something they can do. And so I'm recording, and as I'm recording, I'm going to score them based off the answers they gave me. Were they proficient? Was it approaching proficiency, or did they have limited proficiency, or did they have no proficiency at all, meaning they had a difficult time explaining what they read in the book. So this is recorded. So the accuracy is recorded, how many mistakes they made as far as how many words they got right as they were reading, and then their comprehension score is also recorded. Now typically after that's done, that will be the first round of running records. Then I would do a second round and a third round, and like I said before, I would do a case by case if I felt like I wanted to see if I saw something, classroom observation, like wow, I'm noticing that student's really during whole group is really get some great skills with reading. I would maybe pull that student again and see if they can move up a reading level or two. So that is what I keep. This does not go home. This is just for teacher purposes. I try to send more kid-friendly sheets home for you and your scholar. So I just want to give you an idea of typically when students come into first grade, we like to see them at least at a level E, borderline level D. So D/E at the beginning of the school year up until now, which is October. So this is what a level E book looks like. If you look here, there's more words on the page for them to read, and the questions are going to be a little more complex. So as we go about, this is a level G book, so now you can see how there's just more words on the page, bigger words, more adjectives and things like that, that's in the book. And then as we go even deeper into like a level J, there's definitely more content, and the questions are going to be a little more complex as well. So it just continually progresses in complexity over time. And so, like I said, in the beginning, we like to see students come in between August and October to be at a level D to a level E. Come November, December, we like to see them at a level F, and so on. So by the time they leave first grade, we like to see them at the end of the school year to be at least close to a level K, I believe. But I'll check that. I'll check my paperwork, but I want to say we like to see them at a level K. And so I just wanted to clear that up for any parents that saw those letter grades. I would never ever send something like that home without contacting you first. Report cards are not letter grades based. They are more of mastery skills, because there are a lot of skills that are foundational in the first grade that they're not going to necessarily master, but we're setting up that foundation for second and third grade. So you'll see things like 1, it's exceeds, 2, meets standards, 3, approaching, and 4, needs improvement. So those are the type of things you will see on the report card that's going to come out. I hope this was helpful, and I hope it gave you some insight. If I can get some feedback, if this is something that parents would like for me to do from time to time throughout the school year, give you little snippet videos of things that will be helpful and useful to you to understand what we do in class, please leave me some feedback by giving me an email, sending me an email, because if this is something you all would like for me to do, I don't mind. You can even give me some feedback on different topics you would like for me to talk about to go more in depth. So thank you so much. This helped me step out of my comfort zone. I appreciate your support this year so far. Have a great evening.